holding back.
You're not supposed to tell your pacer to go faster.
It takes a while to get.
She knows Jim and knows things.
Before we start, I'd like to acknowledge that this is a little different than my normal format. But as I live in Southwest Washington, I thought I'd cover an important mountain biking event happening this July that I think should be talked about. If you'd like to support this channel so I can make more content like this, don't forget to subscribe, but most importantly, join the people on this list by navigating to patreon.com/voiceovertrails and choosing a sponsorship level that you feel is appropriate. This is Jim Lemonds and Bob Horness, two people who loom large in the mountain biking world of Southwest Washington. Both of them will be 71 years old this year, and, as is totally normal and not at all excessive for a 71-year-old, they will be going for a 71-mile single-track mountain bike ride this summer.
All right, so tell me about your bad idea.
Whose bad idea was it? Wasn't mine. I just got sucked into it.
Well, I did a 60th birthday ride, and so, of course, as I said, it's easy when you're having a beer and hanging out and pointing at a map, but Bob and I decided for our 70th birthdays we would try to do 70 miles of trail in the Gifford Pinchot or near Mount St. Helens, and then we got canceled last year because of COVID.
A seemingly insane idea like this can't just be allowed to happen undocumented, so I wanted to learn more in order to gather more information about this and try to figure out if these two otherwise rational individuals had perhaps made a thoroughly irrational decision. I followed them on a training ride at Growlers Gulch, the totally non-trail forkable trail system in Castle Rock that Jim Lemonds has been integral to making a reality.
All right, Jim, where are we?
We are right at the start. We're at the start of Predator, which is right here, and we're going to actually ride two courses.
What are we training for?
Well, we are training for our 71 ride that Bob Horness and I are doing on July 23rd. So any training is going to help, and of course, Bob has been riding hard and doing a lot of training.
You can see I've been training a lot. Got a flask, got a beer. Yeah.
In order to give you a little background on Jim Lemonds, otherwise known as Jeeps, everybody calls him Jeep, to give you a little background on his importance to mountain biking, it helps to gain some background on Growlers Gulch itself. Growlers is known for being a no-dig, no-ride type of trail system, which means that if you want to learn about the trails here and get guidance on how to ride them, you need to show up to Jim's famously well-attended work parties. Fortunately, I was riding with a group of folks who have been digging and riding here for a long time, so they had lots of information for me.
So most mountain bikers in the Portland area at least know about this place. And it's just outside of Longview, Washington. So about a little over an hour north of Portland. And this has been an NWTA kind of project for a long time. I know this place is older than NWTA. I think it goes all the way back to when it was Portland United Mountain Peddlers, which I thought was a pretty cool name, pump. But it's private timberland. It's owned by Weyerhaeuser. Jim Lemonds has been integral in both building trails and keeping them open, working with the timber company and the neighbors, keep everybody happy. If you live on the east side of Portland, this is easier to get to than Stubbs Stewart. Yeah, so you got 40 miles of trail here. Another attraction about this system is that if you're just learning how to mountain bike, you can do that here. It's a skill builder. I brought my mid-fat hardtail for this ride, and that's a good bike for this area. So Growlers has always had a work to ride mantra, almost on the level that those of us from Evergreen almost look at it like a cult. I mean that in the nicest possible way. Even among those of us who don't really ride here, it's known as no dig, no ride. It's routine to get, what is it, around 100 people at a work party?
We usually get 130.
About 130 per work party. That's, wow.
Not only is it a work party, it's a party.
And it's a party.
There's always a party. It's a party at work party.
party and work party. That's how they get them to keep showing up. I remember when Jim brought a crew up to Ape Canyon to do some weed whacking. And he was angry that he only got 20 people.
I was there. I had a keg.
And I was like, wow, by the standards I'm working with, 20's great, cool.
So we rode 20 miles of single track, which is only about half of the Growlers Gulch trail system. But in mountain biking, what we're really interested in is elevation. And we gained 3,000 feet over the course of that 20 miles. It can get grueling, but why are we doing this in the first place?
We've been training, and we're naive enough to think it's doable.
Most media representations of mountain biking focus on the downhill aspect of the sport, imagining us just shredding down ribbons of dirt and getting hang time, but in reality, most of mountain biking doesn't look like this. This kind of thing is actually a better representation of why we ride, why we do what we do. It's these beautiful moments brought about by community and hard work that get us outside and into the woods to see and interact with the most beautiful landscapes our region has to offer. And the price of this beauty is this: climbing. It's harder than it looks, and it's difficult to articulate just how much athleticism is required to winch yourself up a hill on a mountain bike, sometimes climbing for hours at a time. Jim and Bob and their ride crew will be climbing 8,000 feet when they ride on July 23rd, but they have motivation to support their ambitions.
Who are you dedicating the ride to?
I'm dedicating it to my best friend I met in Vietnam. We were both drafted in the 101st Airborne, and part of our job was to go into the jungle, and he was exposed to Agent Orange and now has leukemia as a cause of that, and he's struggling to, survive. And I think riding for him and donations to the Leukemia Foundation may help him in our lifetimes and hopefully his. 70's not that old, in my opinion.
I'm riding for my college roomie, Mick Spanny. He had a rare form of pancreatic cancer that was actually treatable. I think only 5% of people have it, and he ended up living for, I believe, 11 years. He just passed away last August, and he put up an unbelievable fight. And so anything we can do, I think that's one of the things too about this ride is, yeah, it's partly for Bob and me to, I guess, prove something to ourselves that we're still not too old to do things, but this is a rare opportunity for us to raise money for some very needy organizations.
Jim and Bob could not embark on an undertaking like this without assistance, and they will not be entering the woods alone. There will be a support crew and riding companions, including the person who is helping keep our pace on this bike ride.
So Janine, are you going to participate in this madness, or are you just helping him train?
No, I'm stuck in the whole thing.
Oh, you're doing the whole thing?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
How many more people are doing this?
I think there's 8 of us on the ride team.
Impressive. All right.
Yeah. I'm not sure if all 8 are doing it, the whole leg, but apparently I got trapped in it. Some days I feel like I can do it, some days I don't.
Right.
The mileage we covered on this ride was less than the mileage Jim and Bob will be covering on July 23rd when they begin their ride at midnight at Marble Mountain on Mount St. Helens. While the elevation was a little less than half of what they'll be doing in July, it is only April, and there's still plenty of time to train between now and then. Regardless, many of us younger folks were still adequately worn out by the time we gathered at Jim's house for conversation and a couple of after-ride beers. As every mountain biker knows, this kind of gathering after a ride is an important and seldom neglected ritual for any weekend ride, really. Whether observed standing around the cars in the parking lot or in a nice location such as Jeep's front lawn right next to the trail system he's put so much time and dedication into developing. Jim and Bob both know that opportunities to do things like this are rare and need to be seized upon whenever possible.
At our age, we only have one chance to do this, okay? We're not dumb, but the age part compounds things, and I think all of our friends understand this is it. And so many of them want to be there, Maybe they want to see if we can do it.
I'm not going to do it again. This would be my one shot. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Starts at Marble. We're going to start at Marble Mountain at midnight.
On a full moon.
Yeah, it's a full moon. We planned it specifically for that, and we'll ride the Marble Mountain Trail up to Ape Canyon to the north side, to where what we call the lunch log, and back. That's
Across
about
the plains of Abraham.
across the plains. That's about 32 miles, and then Lewis River is the tough one because of so much interval. And we'll probably go to the lower falls unless we need more mileage. And then we planned it for Falls Creek at the end, because after the 6-mile climb, then even if we're running on fumes, I think we can make it to the end.
We'll coast down to the parking lot party.
So, and you're gonna ride the connection between each of those trails?
No, we'll travel that by car. It's too far to ride. So.
Yeah.
I was wondering. Okay.
Yeah, that's part of
that
the
would be
logistics. We want everybody to have their cameras out and taking pictures, because
That's one thing I found out again on this. I learned a lot on the 60th ride, but one is that we're only going to get one chance here, okay? And so you better get every image that you possibly can. So we're going to be telling everybody on the ride team, you fill your phone, get every video clip and whatever you can, because we will eventually put together some sort of a
it's
video
not just
or
us.
something
Film everybody.
Oh yeah, everybody gets their picture taken. So
yeah, I want to know who was there.
I think again, when you're going with all your friends like we are, I mean, how lucky. I'm going to also have all 4 of my grandsons there. They won't be on the main ride team, but they all want to try to ride at least 30. And they are so excited. And just to be there, well, for a grandpa, how does it get any better than that?
My wife and kids will be there. I don't have grandkids yet. I'm too young, but the family will be there too. And like Nancy Stone said, I can't wait to be at the end of the ride party.
We'll have a party at Falls Creek that we'll have to. That'll take some planning too. One of the things about it, of course, is all the planning has to be done in advance, because when it comes to ride day, I can't even worry about my grandsons. I just have to worry about me.
That's right.
And so all the logistics have to be taken care of ahead of time.
Jim and Bob want this endeavor to make a difference, and they are asking that you pledge your support to one or more of the following organizations of your choice: Friends of Castle Rock Library, Clatskanie Senior Center, Pancreatic Cancer Action Network, the Leukemia Research Foundation, and/or the Fisher Center for Alzheimer's Research Foundation. Bob and Jim would, of course, prefer that you support one of the previously mentioned organizations, but you can, of course, choose to donate to a charity of your choice. Just let Jim know the name of the organization you intend to support. I have provided links in the description to this video to Jim's webpage, which provides instructions on how to donate. You will also find a link to a commemorative coffee mug in there to acknowledge the occasion, as well as contact information should you have any further questions or wish to get more involved. Now, get out there and go ride your bike.